What about boundaries with love? Why would that be a part of this, do you think? Forging relationships, engaging, new people and finding your love or engaging with
Interesting.
your
See,
love.
when I work, I used to teach and I work with students,
Okay?
and they talk about, well, you have your counseling boundaries, and so they use this language and very careful in terms of counseling, and
Hmm.
well, I have to have
Precise precision. Okay.
boundaries, and my boundaries have to. And basically, they're talking about rigid boundaries,
Yeah, they're
and
too rigid.
yeah, they're not flexible.
Distant.
You're permeable a little bit, that's
Remember, I told you about that guy earlier in my career that he refused to even shake anybody's hand.
yeah,
Like, what is that?
yeah,
Jeez, man.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking that boundaries are, you do need boundaries. Even in there's a point where my wife, and I see this, is that she needs to be left alone, and she's starting sometimes even within that confines of marriage. We, I'm not always in her headgear. I'm not always in her face,
Mm-hmm.
and she's not in my face all the time. Though she likes to talk more than I do, and
I think with this thing, it comes. I mean, how do we have love without talking about emotionally focused therapy, John?
okay,
I can't do it. I have to do it at the end here.
yeah,
Because, this boundary setting basically, you say yes when you mean yes and no when you mean no is the way I like to put the most simplest form of boundary setting. People struggle to understand how close or distant we want to be because the pursuers in the relationship with EFT, as we know the model, episode 11, 101, 201, and 301, if you want to get deep on that, are fearful of you being too far away from me. If I'm in the abandonment camp, engulfment camp, you're fearful of you being too close to me. And so you have this balance, right? I really feel like boundary management is one of the biggest pieces of a successful relationship.
but you have to keep it permeable. You
Right.
have to be able to be
There's a
flexible.
balance.
It's a balance.
It's hard.
There are times when you do have to step in. There's times when you have to step back more than and be firm. But there's also those times where it's the give and take, and it's like a cell membrane. It's an exchange that goes part. You still have that barrier, but you have that exchange of fluids, so to speak. Right?
Yeah.
Emotional fluids.
Emotional fluidity and fluid. Yeah.
Fluidity, yeah.